friends, best greetings. Today we start this video about very interesting, famous American and Australian entomologist Alexandre Girault, who was living actually more than 100 years ago. Well, he was living just before the Second World War in Australia, mostly in Australia. He had an American passport and lived in Australia mostly whole of his life with his family and children. And also he was famous because he described many species of small parasitic wasps, chalcid wasps, which is just here on this poster behind of me. These tiny parasitic wasps, like Entomologist here, Signiforide, Rotoitidae, Leucospidae. Here just Eucharytidae, Perilampidae, and many Trichogrammatidae, Eulophidae, and other families, Eurythmidae, Elasmidae, Agaunidae, Mimaridae. Well, they're here on this poster, but he published many papers, and many of papers were privately published papers. They were just united together in the book of privately printed papers of Alexandre Girault, and this book was compiled by Gordon Gorth, Arnold Menke, Dr. Dams, and Dr. Hall. So this is a very interesting book because many papers are very rare, difficult to find them in original printing. But of course now they were scanned and presented in the database of World Chalcidoidea, which is compiled by Dr. John Noyes. But here we can find originally some of papers of Alexandre Girault. You see here on this photo, he is just in the age of 20. And actually he was very famous because he published papers and sometimes with combination of poems, literature, stories, and descriptions of new species of parasitic wasps, chalcid wasps. So a combination of poetry and parasitic wasps, very interesting. So that's why I'm very pleased to open some papers and read you some articles in English, definitely, with no translation. So you need to learn English if you're just still in other not English-speaking country. That's very important. And here I found several articles with introduction and some stories inside about poetry. So combination, one part is description of species, then poetry, description of species, poetry. So very funny. For instance, the paper is named Chalcidoidea nova mariladensis, new species from Maryland in America, in the United States. And here there is small poetry line. So one small poem, and this poem is named A Little Man. So you can listen to me and follow to Alexandre Girault. This is his poem. And later several other articles. Little man. How a little man puke and whine in their wasteful efforts to shine. How envy them corrodes the heart and jealously to plays its part. And they hate of all that's truly great, or what little only they partake. They prance and dance their little jig, as if their souls were truly big, the noble celestial things, and then in reality the kings. Great Jupiters would them seen, the minery fair from the dream. Great God will them mutilate, mar, with depredation against the law, the holy temple of our science. Be them order, truth, faith, defiance, must enthusiasm itself smother, or be divided with another unworthy to receive it. Labor must its fruit be lost. To him was sweet paid with the cost. Who had capacity for it? Do this dwarfs by process of addition hope to make one giant of condition? Can they plus produce a king, doing such a silly thing? Ten thistle, if together bound, no equal aster with her crown. Botticelli with his master's hand sells 10,000-fold a common man. Little thing, little man. And another chapter is written here, North American species of chalcid wasps. North American Elasmidae. We know the book North American species Nearctic Chalcidoidea book, very famous one, editors and Gary Gibson, John Gober, and James Woolley. But some first chapters about North American chalcid wasps were published by Alexandre Girault. And here North American Hymenoptera family Elasmidae. Now this belongs to Eulophidae. An introduction is, this is a small poem. Introduction. Gay, gaunty, ready for dance, I lived in the grass and with the lance, deal deaf to any worm that creeps. I'm nature's particulars scroll. Harquin, Nemesis, pretty doll. Then I dive the warm sunbeams weeps. And later, here's an analysis of all species of Elasmidae, which occurs in this area named North America, as it is artificially limited to the Isthmus of Panama by the regions of perpetual ice on the north and the two great oceans. All the types have been examined and compared with those from the West Indian species. Great job. All the US, save Mexicanos. And this work was done in a Bedlam in the insect section of a US National Museum at Washington, a place unit for scholarship. Remember it. Freud says institutions are for man. This one, in other sense, seem to be for children, certainly not for the capable man. Shameless, noisy, and frivolous. Its tendency was to ruin, not to uplift. Seriousness is out of place in a circus of amongst comedians. No real science, no pure life, love of truth can come from this place. Well, but another chapter is about North American Trichogrammatidae, my famous family, which I am studying. So, and it was published, both these articles, in 1918, as you could recognize, 100 years ago, more than 100. So, Trichogrammatidae from North America. Introduction. This is not given to fools to know these things. Ease and truth are not bonny companions. The Trichogrammatidae, Lilliputians of an insect tribe, yet to me giants of creation, that wonders do with thee abide. How humble is the station, is thy station. Though so tiny and fragile, thou art so strong and agile, art of them perfect as they be, nothing bigger lives to me. Both men give thee up for lost, hidden as thou art almost. Could he see thee pretty thin, he would give his agate a ring, and near all this he possessed, would not he in this be blessed? For these and with thee he had found his soul and become a man in whole. And just later some words. The meat of this work is to cut up and dress in very difficult circumstances. Where should have been quiet and calm was confusion. Where good feeling, malice, encouragement, opposition, freedom and tyranny, the hope of good, the fear of evil, and the toleration to the plain right, the intolerable toleration of wrong, the intoleration of mean, pretty minds of the envy. He is the most some sort of monograph of North American Trichogrammatidae family, giving such an analysis of these pretty things as to make their study more feasible and themselves more accessible. It has these merits that all these species are congeneric, their descriptions conformative and based on re-examination of types. The language is honest, and the errors have been reduced to moiety by hunting for them, and if they were object worthy of pursuit, or they indeed are. The Estimus of Panama and the West Indies are excluded. All my further statements hereby proceeded. Okay, and something else. I found one article is named Some Insects Never Before Seen by Mankind by Alexandre Girault, with description of four species, one belonging to genus Richteria, genus Ormirus, Neocasca, and Shillingsworthia. An introduction is quite interesting, not poem, but interesting words. Alexandre Girault. Research is a labor of love. Strange then to find it all done nowadays as a labor of wages. Must love to be a matter of cash? Does the lover demand a wage before espousing the maiden of his choice? By heaven, it has come to that. It's such a one of now before us, a lover of insects at Cairns demanding and getting his cold 1,000 with pursuit zitters before he will do much as embrace of a single gnat. Do not I see other lovers doing the like, bargaining for their loves all over the habitable globe? This ruinous, will not offspring be scarce and scarcer, bastard at all at that, the mother prostitutes? That is spectacle. In the meanwhile, all the true lovers may go to the devil. Incidentally, also all men and all things whatsoever without cash. But who cannot see that these copper-hunting men are not true lovers, but only poachers, snarers, and cunning trappers, not likely to become good fathers? Courage, huntsman. Nature is too exploded and known by mankind, not only because she holds so much food and means for living, but also for mostly because she is expression of her majesty, of a mystical all. Are these chalcid flies below, but so many more parasites with which it hoped to increase our already superfluous wealth? For others, I see them. Another description of Richteria, Ormirus, Langdalandi, Neocasca, Shillingsworthy, and Shillingsworthia genus. And it was published in 1920, Brisbane, Australia. So these are some articles with the poetry of Alexandre Girault. Thank you for coming to this stream. Thank you for being with me in this time, whether it is morning, daytime, or evening time, because it will be recorded and uploaded to YouTube for further watching. Thank you for coming, and if you was coming for your first time, please subscribe, write your comments under this video in Russian, in Ukrainian or English, or in another language. We can use Google Translator. Why not? Learn English, enjoy insects, enjoy chalcid wasps, parasitoids, and other small stories, and maybe longer stories about Alexandre Girault, American-Australian chalcidologist, will come soon on my channel. For that, press on bell over this video, and some records will come to you as notification message about new videos. And of course, you can visit my Patreon page for financial support. It will be also very good for development of the channel. Thank you for coming. Good luck and see you soon on my channel. Bye bye. See you soon on my channel. Thank you for coming. Yola Fox. Hans. Good luck and see you soon on my channel. Bye bye.